What's up guys, it's Zerodomai Kitsune here with another Fox Guide Fallout mods, this time with a more armor themed selection. And here are the times if you're looking for a particular mod that I have put in my selection. Either way, I just want to say though that I wonder how long I can keep up this whole weekly thing. I've tried it before, but you know, that's that, and let's get started. If you're like me, then you probably wanted a little bit more from the customization in Fallout 4. Well, when it comes to Synth, this mod has you covered. Synth Overhaul cast by MaaroTakai is a modification mod that adds a bunch of modifications to the Synth overall in the game and adds a bunch of customization to the Synth uniform. Now if we take just a couple of these and put them through the armor workbench, you can clearly see that each has two new customizations. The first one being the color, which comes in two, first being black and then your color of choice, though it does double up on the green, which is weird. And the second one being what condition it's in, whether it's camo, damage, new or worn. Now sadly, the uniforms and the other things affected by the mod don't actually have their customization options in this game. You have to just pick them up and they come in different colors. The only ones that actually do have customization are the armor pieces. So here we are in a random area where synths have spawned. I've already killed them, but let's look at what kind of armor they got. As you can see here, we have a sturdy damaged black-white synth chest piece and a damaged black-white synth field helmet, though he's decapitated so you can't really see it. Here we have a synth patroller who's actually rocking the heavy damage camo black gold, as you can see there. And also a damaged camo black gold synth field helmet, though it doesn't say anything about the fact that it has the glow texturing on it. It's a little weird not to include in the text, though I guess that would make it even longer. This right here brings up an important thing I want to note, and it's also one of the flaws in the game. I just remembered it. As you can see here, I have a synth pistol. It is black. That is a texture provided by this mod. But I have two synth pistols. Now watch what happens when I drop one. That's the black one. This clearly is white. See what happens? Unequipped, re-equipped? This is a white synth pistol. These are two different weapons, but when I pick it up, they stack on top of each other. And they sort of glitch out, so you gotta re-equip and unequipped. That's a little bit of an annoyance, as the mod doesn't properly mark these as modifications. Instead, I don't actually know how it deals with these two mods, but that's just something to note. You can't change the texturing, you can't go into the workshop and turn this white and turn that one black, and it just feels a bit weird to me. And finally we have these two over here. This one wearing the white purple synth armor with glow textured helmet. That is actually not, yeah, this is just black white, glow textured, and this one being heavily worn black metal, just really dark black, metallic, little worn, and a non-glow textured helmet. And here we are at the Institute. Now let's look at some of the more freshly designed ones.
All systems nominal.
As we can see here, I'm assuming this is also the white and gold synth. Oh, white gold camo synth, actually. Using a white synth rifle. I think. Might be black in this lighting. It is totally black. Here we have another synth, and he keeps moving away from me. But he doesn't have any armor. Instead, he's just wearing another synth uniform, which has also been retextured in this mod. Moving on. And finally, we have this synth, who's using the blue digitized. The other helmets I showed you were white, and that looks kind of weird. But I think the blue data, if this one will stop moving, I think the blue data does look pretty cool on it. Though it doesn't make any sense when the player is actually wearing it. Rounding it out, this mod is pretty good, especially if you're doing a synth playthrough or anything Institute related. I'd especially recommend it just for the fact that it expands the amount of customization and variety using the modification system, which I really do like. But comes at the caveat that you have to be okay with the fact that this basically makes all Institute based mods that affect the outfits incompatible, and there are a few bugs and glitches here and there. Many Fallout 4 players enjoyed the non-armored outfits in this game, but are hand-fisted into joining the railroad at least temporarily in order to obtain the valued Ballistic Weave modification in order to allow their outfits to scale into the late game. This mod gives you another option. N.O.N.E Ballistic Weave Overhaul by NinaTheBunny adds new options to the weave category, now renamed Undercoat, that do not require your allegiance to the railroad. Now, the options are pretty varied. I would wish they were a little bit less since it just feels like you're filling up the option slot with tons of things, but that's just a personal taste. In reality, these are fairly well balanced within themselves, as things that require the same rank of armor give a lot of varied choice, going from things like the banded metal, then you go to higher rank ones like the ballistic plate that does not require the railroad, all the way up to the capstone, the Deathclaw hide. Me personally, I wish that the Deathclaw hide wasn't just 10 out of 10 best modification, but again, that's personal choice. The only thing that has me looking a little bit sideways at this mod is once you add the Ballistic Weave, now renamed Ballistic Mesh, into the mix. As despite being something that requires a faction allegiance and can only be obtained that way, it's no longer the best or even something you should really aspire to obtain. As you can see here, you have things that clearly just outpace it, even inside the same category. And once you get all the way up to the final one, Ballistic Mesh MK5, it pales in comparison to the equal ranked Deathclaw hide, with having 150 in physical energy and radiation, compared to the Ballistic Mesh's just 100 physical and energy. With that said, I think this is a fantastic addition to the game, and I do think this should be added to everyone's load order. Maybe the creator could add in an extra update that ups the power of the Ballistic Mesh, or maybe if the mod author refuses to do that, just go into Test 5ed and do it yourself. That's probably what I'll end up doing. For people new to the Fallout series with this installment, you might not know, but previous Fallout titles did not have the radiation system where your health bar would steadily decrease its maximum. Instead, they would use the special system as a balancing point. The more radiation you had, the lower your special stats would decrease. This mod emulates that. Classic radiation poisoning by TheIrontoads reintroduces Classic radiation poisoning by TheIrontoads reintroduces older Fallout titles' radiation system, where at certain brackets you will end up gaining special debuffs. As you can watch here, I'm gaining radiation. If you notice that little pip, that was me gaining a minor radiation poisoning, which reduced my endurance, which in turn actually reduced my maximum health. So a little bit of double dipping there, on top of the already double dipping from getting 2 debuffs from radiation poisoning. Personally, I think this is a little bit too much because I'm perfectly fine with the current radiation system. But, you know, sometimes when you have mods, you just need to stack up the difficulty to even out with the power increase of those mods. And I think this could be a good, easy way to implement that. So maybe even if you think Fallout 4's difficulty is fine as is, maybe just keep a lookout for this mod for when you suddenly added 200 god-killing mods and you're like, you need something to balance it out. If there's one thing that disappointed me about the Fallout 4 settlement system, is that each and every settlement didn't really have anything that made them unique from each other. If you understand, nothing mechanically. Sure, they were visually different, but it didn't really matter. You could build just about anything in one place that you could in another. This next mod doesn't fix that, but it contributes to the solution. Access pre-war power lines by Angeplay adds free power to certain settlements that look like they should have some by simply attaching non-craftable, non-scrappable power generators to appropriate objects. As you can see here, we are at the Starlight Diner, and this particular power line has 2 20-powered, power lines. Don't know a better way to say that. You can attach them to anything in your settlement. They do have a max range just like anything else, and they can't clip. Functions exactly like vanilla power lines. The only difference is, again, you cannot scrap them and you cannot craft new ones wherever the hell you want. For a place like the red rocket at the beginning of the game, we have a power line here and a power line here, if I can get to it, both providing 20 like the others. And finally, wait a minute, excuse me a moment. And finally, for this example, the Abernathy farm, which is unique as theirs gives a significant more amount of power, but is significantly harder to get to. I'm gonna go ahead and just use console commands for this. And if you build all the way up to the top of this structure, you can have access to two 100 power lines. The first one being over there, and the second one being right here. This mod may be a small mod, but I do think it... Start that again. This mod may be a small mod, but like I said at the very beginning, I do think this is the direction the modding community should take settlements to make this game just a little bit more interesting. And now we can end. Like millions of other people, I love the Suicide Squad movie. Wasn't the best superhero movie to come out in, recent times, but it had one of my favorite characters in it. And this next mod also is based around that character. Harley Quinn outfit for CBBE adds in the iconic Harley Quinn outfit from the Suicide Squad film into Fallout 4. Now this mod falls into the category of cosplay armor for me because, for one, it only has, the unique outfit, basically the entire thing, for one gender. As you, I use that too much, but you can see that the male just, has standard clothes, and the female over here. And the other part that makes the cosplay armor is that it can only be created from the chem station. I almost forgot what it was for a second. But yeah, there's no dropping from an enemy, there's no unique NPC that spawns with it, it's just chem station. The armor itself comes in 3 parts with the collar, the jacket, and the outfit. The damage resistance is 25 for every possible type, 25 normal, 25 poison, which is unique because a lot of things don't have poison resistance, and 25 energy for the jacket. So you're basically covered if you have these 2 pieces. The collar doesn't do anything, it does give you 2 luck, but that's it, no armor stats. And the whole set together looks like this. There is a lot of detail in it, as you can see just from the back, and you can see all those nice, the text. It really looks nice. I don't know how better to describe it. You can also see on the legs, I can barely get a good look at it here, but you can also see on the legs you have the tattoos, the card-based tattoos, and Lucky You right above the crotch. So Harley Quinn's tattoos. One thing to note is that this does come with 2 optionals that 2 notable optional things to have. The first one being removing the tattoos from the legs if you don't like them. Maybe your character is not about tattoos, or maybe at some point they install a mod that allows you to add tattoos just straight to the character's body. Either way, you can remove those with an optional. And the second optional is a unique face mask based around Harley Quinn, not for Harley Quinn. You can find that unique face texture inside the blemish category in the character creation menu. It replaces the sun scorched option, and whoops, almost moved over it. This gives you the Harley Quinn makeup and the tattoos on her face. So you get the runny lipstick, the multicolored eyeshadow, and the heart tattoo and words. It's just, this entire mod is perfect for a Harley Quinn themed, character. If you didn't notice this in the corner of the screen earlier on, I have one more mod to make your Harley Quinn cosplay character a little bit more complete. Harley Quinn's Bat by Yogensia adds a unique Harley Quinn themed bat to Fallout 4 based on the Suicide Squad movie. Now it's not based around the actual baseball bat in game, and there are no modifications for it. If the armor is a cosplay armor, then this would be a cosplay weapon. You see what you get, and this is all there is. What is cool though is just the level of detail that goes into this mod. if you zoom in, you can see these are actual words. These are quotes from Harley Quinn herself, engraved, well, I guess markered into the bat. Yeah, let's go with that. Markered into the bat. Now, as far as damage goes, this does a little bit less damage than the Grognark axe, but does much more damage than an actual baseball bat. So keep that in mind. You can see it just covered in blood right now. Just a standard fight with Yagwai. Nothing really special here. I just thought it was a really cool combination of mods. So if you want to make a Harley Quinn character, then this is the combination of mods to do it with. It looks good. And well, I guess that's about it. Oh hey, now that you made it to the end of one of my videos, perhaps think about subscribing, or maybe just sticking around and checking out another one of my videos. Either way, through the power of YouTube, we now have these fancy buttons on screen, so just click on one of those to go where you want to go. And just to reiterate what I've probably said in the video, I'll see you next time.